Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
Let's talk, Laurie. Let's.
Hello.
Hello. So the drama does not continue.
Yay! You gave me one sentence, and I'm like, stop talking. Let me hear it on the pod.
5 days after somebody accidentally picked up my luggage, the guy returned it, and so they delivered it to my house. Yeah. So I got a text. It's a little hot, so I don't know. What do
There we
you?
go. Yeah, I think you were
Is
just
that-
on it.
Or I could stop eating it, and then it wouldn't
that's
be
perfect,
quite so. There we go. Yeah. So I got my luggage back. What I love is the deluge of Delta still owes you $3,800. You should still keep the claim in. You should still do this. You should still do that. And I'm like, they could give me some points. They could bump me up to gold and without me having to try as hard. And I'd be psyched about it. And I will talk to them not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Juneteenth, or today's Juneteenth when this comes up.
What is their obligation when somebody what happened, that it was an accident, and how do we know that they didn't just lose it and think,
Well, you just knocked your audio somehow. But last thing I heard was, how do we know they didn't just lose it and then blame you? But we don't know that. But and I don't really. I mean, in the big thing of it, I was psyched kind of that it was merch, because except for that, guess what? You know how when you lose something like that, when that thing is gone, you'll go through your day-to-day life and you're like, oh shit, that thing was in there.
oh no.
Right. Guess what? Here's a lesson to be relearned every moment of every day that I thought I had learned. Never put your jewelry in your checked luggage.
I saw that by not having jewelry.
I only have earrings, and I have earrings, and then I have an earring necklace set that Andy gave me. And I have to tell you, I have a friend of mine who is a delight. But you don't call her for sympathy. You call her for sarcasm, right?
Jackie, that's exactly how I would describe you. Continue.
Oh, well, that's flattering, because she was hilarious, and in the end, right. So,
oh man, I knew you'd turn it around to a victory.
What she said was, she said, well, she actually said, does the universe have your attention yet? What I heard, of course, is worse people than you, or worse things are happening to better people than you.
Yes. Always. Right.
And then let me grab a piece of paper. And then the other thing is, when I realized that my jewelry, all my earrings were in there was just this pause. And I was like, you are not going to not even be sympathetic. And she goes, well, maybe you had too many earrings. I was like,
I want this person's phone number, and I never want to talk to them.
She's very funny. But she is not a comic.
Not
I've known her. Not worth it. Oh, by the way, I told my brother Russ here, when your son was so small, he fit on the stairs. Joke, because he's a huge Norm Macdonald fan, and now he's a huge Laurie Kilmartin fan.
Oh my gosh!
He's like, she's just like him, and I said, no,
what?
No, she isn't. She's better than him, and she should have his career. So.
Wow. I've just been hit with too many compliments. I can't even take it.
Well, let me keep telling you. Here's the funny thing. So I had a bunch of sets, so I was gone when they delivered the luggage. But Oscar, I could track him.
Is that what you named your suitcase?
Yeah, the guy who brought my suitcase.
Oh, okay, all right.
But get this, Andy and Chris received my suitcase, and he said, I'm so glad that you live in a tiny house. And I was like, well, that seems like a slap in the face that he would say that.
What the hell?
Well, I guess his previous delivery, and now we don't know if this is true. That's what made me think of it when you said, is it true? He said he had delivered luggage to Beyonce's house.
Wow.
So she, and when at Beyonce's house, her security or whoever, her valet, her butler,
Right.
her staff. And so I am 2 degrees. My luggage has been touched by the same guy who touched Beyonce's luggage.
Well, how did your security handle this guy dropping off luggage?
Well, they didn't tip him, which I was curious. I was like, did you tip the guy?
No.
And he goes, he didn't hang out at all, and I didn't think of it. I'm so sorry. And I was like, well, hopefully they'll give me more points.
I'm so glad it's back. How annoying.
Amazing.
And the person, did they put an apology card in the suitcase or anything?
I was curious, and I have not checked. I don't know if they kept a couple of CDs or a T-shirt. I have no idea. I didn't check the quantities, though I have, of course, the inventory. Yeah. The thing that there was that, I don't know. I have a corduroy jacket and shoulder bag that match.
Yeah.
And
wow.
the shoulder bag was in there too. It's wow, I love that snarky sort of. Why would you have that, Jackie?
You gave me a lot to visualize, and then you jumped away from it immediately. I'm still taking in corduroy, and then I have to come up with jacket and purse that match. It's a lot. Like, give a person a second, okay?
Do you remember? It's that brand. It's that weird. It is an old lady brand. All
Talbots?
No. More boutique-y from New York. April something, whatever. But whatever it is, I went to college with a woman who had old lady fashion when she was 18 years old. 18 years old, she was like, we're going to Eileen Fisher. And I was like, what are we doing? I didn't know what Eileen Fisher was. She said, these are core. These are just going to be timeless pieces that you buy. These will be standards that you'll be able to wear for decades. And she is, of course, correct. I'm doing Throckmorton, by the way. And right across from Throckmorton is an old-timey brick and mortar Eileen Fisher store.
Oh, when are you doing Throck?
The 27th
of
June.
Oh, nice. Are you headlining it?
Yeah, I believe so.
And they're putting you up in the hotel
across the street. Yes.
Oh.
And I'll go to the Indian burrito place. You ever go to the non-burrito place?
I don't think I did, but the next time I go to the Throck, I think I'm going to stay over an extra night, either before or after, and just hang out, because what an incredible, beautiful little town that is,
It's really, it's like, I always say this, but it looks like Gilmore Girls. Like they tried to recreate a New England town in the California mountains. And the only people, and I always say this too, is the only people with melanin in town either work there or they've been adopted. And that's a better laugh than I've ever gotten from the people of Mill Valley.
Well, Jackie, there's deer running around. Like if you go to the hotel, there's like a little creek in the back and there's deer,
Yeah, and redwoods.
It's beautiful. It smells so pretty. It does feel, it is very like,
the breakfast is really good too.
Yes, but you and I are like the youngest people that ever go there, and we're pretty old. It does feel like it's people moved there a long time ago, and then they didn't have children, or their children left, and they just stayed, and that's the entire population.
Right.
Gallery.
Right. And the bookstore though is one of those sad sack bookstores that the one that's on the square.
Yeah.
It's got a coffee shop where you could buy an $8, somebody watch the coffee be made, a cup of coffee.
Yeah, right.
And then there's a bookstore attached to it. And it's not as bad as City Lights, but it's a lot like City Lights, where it's just like, because did I ever tell you that I walked into
San Francisco? You're coming for City Lights? Lawrence Getty's bookstore?
Right. Well, it was the week after the 2016 election. And I was still numb with disbelief and pretty sure that that things were going to change fundamentally. And then my friend Ebony told me, Jesus, Jackie, horrible things happen and we all continue. Anyway, but the thing is so Jackie, I go into City Lights.
a collection of the least sympathetic friends I've ever heard. And
which is why we started this podcast. Look on your face means I'm right. Okay, so anyway, so I walk into City Lights in 2016 right after the election, and I say to the woman at the front desk, "Do you have anything light?" And she literally looked at me and she said, "We're not known for light."
Great.
It was so self-aware. I couldn't express to you how much I loved it.
I love it. I'm doing a thing on July 15th, the day before my birthday, in
Right.
in San Leandro. I'm doing like an outdoor park. I did it last year, and Brian Copeland books it, and he's like, "You just have to do a different family friendly half hour." And he told me like that like 5 months ago. I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll figure it out." And then I'm like, "Oh my God, I need to actually watch tapes from like 1998 so I can cobble together a half hour that I didn't do last time." Because everything I've written since has been not park friendly, I think. You know, I don't know.
Right, park friendly it's true.
You got dogs in the audience, kids.
Right, there's a 9-year-old there's ready
Yes.
to judge you, and their parents ready to be terrified.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
a 9-year-old that came to the comedy club and the parents have been warned and everyone's been like, "All right, this is on you." It's like people that rightfully would like clean outdoor comedy as they walk with their families back and forth past the show.
Right.
You know?
And right. And that's the 15th, so it's in a month. You have to sort of cobble together just a half hour.
Yeah, right. Maybe doing some, and crowd work outdoors is horrendous. So it does have to be more material.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah,
you are
I
correct.
can't cover this one up with all my little tricks and magic potions.
I'm doing
but
Largo
yeah,
that night.
Oh, cool. I did buy, I could drive, we'll see. But just because Southwest had that crazy sale, and if you buy a Southwest ticket and you don't use it, it just goes in the bank and you can use it for another ticket. So you might as well buy Southwest tickets up and down the aisle. And then if you don't use them, just whatever, it's future money, right? So I bought a ticket because the thing's in the afternoon. So I'm going to fly out to Oakland Airport in the morning, take Bart down there, and then take the last flight out. Or I could drive up with my son and my dog and spend, several $100s and stuff.
Right.
We'll see.
Right. On a little excursion. It's good.
Yeah, he's got a kind of a busy summer schedule though, so I can't. He's almost like I just have like 2 more summers where I can legally take him where I want to go. Right.
Right.
So,
it's a captive audience for 2 more summers. Other than that, you have to, though I will tell you, my brother will get me in the car and he's like, "Here's where we're going." And I'm like, "Damn it. This is exactly what our dad used to do when I was, he's like, "I don't care. I don't want to look at awnings." Anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, last year at this time, right around this time, we were in Spain.
Right.
My son's father paid for the whole vacation. He paid for the airfares. I think I got the hotels, or I don't know. I got a little bit and he got most of it.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
You hear?
I do.
Yeah.
I hear
a little bit of Manhattan for you.
Nice and clear.
I was gonna say you're not in Los Angeles in your quiet, leafy neighborhood.
But yeah, it was just so fun to do. I hope that's not the only. It was myself, his dad, him, and his brother. He has a half brother, but they're brothers, and
they're brothers. Yeah,
it was really cool. And I'm like, God, I hope we can do that again. It's sort of unaffordable this year.
Yeah. But you know what I love about you, Laurie Kilmartin, is how much you enjoy family. Even like a, well, that guy's look at he paid for it was neat. And it was just very supportive. I like it. So I don't want to. What are you gonna do? You're gonna make lemonade. That's what you're gonna do, and that's what you did.
Lemonade. Yeah,
I love it. Did you go up this week?
I did a lot. We're taping this on Sunday. This morning or yesterday, just before I even talk about sets, is Rogan and RFK Jr. was on his podcast, and they ended up doing a debate me threat to a scientist, a COVID scientist.
Oh, they ganged up on a COVID scientist?
Yeah. So now he had people, anti-vaxxers, protesting in front of his home today. This guy. This is just a COVID scientist. Okay?
Yeah.
And
in front of his house. Yeah.
It's like so ugly. But there's like a table of comics last night, and there's a lot of comics I don't know that well in New York,
Sure.
or I just don't see them that well. And they were all sitting together, and I was like, maybe I should just plop down. I mean, I know I'm not in the group necessarily, but I'm a comic, and that's what we do. We hang out with people we don't know very well because we have this one weird thing in common. And then I heard three words. I heard Rogan, COVID, and Fauci, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay over here. No good can come from me joining this conversation whatsoever. First of all, I'm masked, so they know where I stand immediately. Yeah. And so whatever. I just
so they already have the advantage because they can prepare their responses. Like, I realized
I gotta talk through a mask, which is fucking annoying. That's why I don't talk that much at clubs, because it's just no one can hear me, or I'll say can and they hear can't. So it's actually they're thinking I said the opposite of what I said. It's a pain in the ass, and I hate it.
Right. But look at you, alive.
Sure.
So yeah. I will say I did a bow ton of sets too, and like ever since. So I've been doing like last week we did the thing with Casey, and so
yeah.
So let's never do that again. I like her.
Right.
Because let's have you guys go have a podcast where you interview people or be interviewed. I just want to bitch about stand-up comedy with you. So it's I love Casey. I've had her on the Dork Forest twice.
I didn't mind that podcast, but I'm fine.
No, I know it.
Again.
Let's because the thing is how many times have people said, "Will you have guests?" And we've said no. And when somebody said, "What if I'm a guest that asks you about you?" That makes Casey Conley literally an evil genius.
Yeah. Well played, but now we've got that patched up.
Yeah, well played, Casey. Well done.
Let me legislate against that to preemptively strike. Because I didn't get to tell you that I took my dad to Kenosha last weekend, and it cracked me up because Carmen Morales was doing the Kenosha Comedy Club. Like I did Laughing Tap, and then I did Lincoln Lodge, and I did Laughing Tap Friday, Saturday, and then the following Friday I did Lincoln Lodge in Chicago.
So you're floating around the Midwest that whole week.
In the middle. I was supposed to help my buddy, but I didn't. And so I get to hang out with my brother. My brother Russ. So long, we got in an argument. And it's just not a big argument, but men that are button pushers, women are button pushers too. It's a new genre that's coming up in stand-up comedy. This is not to I'm going to type this person's name just because I love that she does it, but that doesn't mean I want to hang out and be the victim. So, because it turns out I have buttons, and I don't approve. It turns out my dog.
She's pushed a few years.
No, but I've witnessed it. Yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, there's not a button that she owns that would make me give a damn. And but what's funny to me actually about button pushers is I realized that my dog Gordy is a fucking button pusher. We have a lot of feral cats. They're not doing anything. He'll literally just like fake run at a cat to make the cat have to stand up and walk away.
Oh my God.
You know what that makes him? A dick. A little Joe Rogan-y dick. Okay, so
I hate claiming I'm in the right here.
Look what my dog did.
Oh,
this
shoot.
is the one that Carmen Morales gave me after my special where she said, write me material.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my dog doesn't like my new shit.
Exactly.
I'm too far in to abandon it. So I'm just going to keep it until I'm done with it. Which
it's got character.
Yeah.
It does have character. And, but it's, there's like a whole chunk that I have to put the the little rubber band over it to keep it in. Otherwise it'll fall out. It's very dangerous actually to have good jokes in this because they could fly away. I need to super glue the binding back together.
Right. Yeah. You can't. I have 4 new I thought I had so much new material regarding the rental thing and the laptop and the luggage now.
Yeah.
Then it turns out all I really have is the rental car keys. Very sad, but very positive that everyone's things have worked out. Things have it's been fine. Okay.
I would say unnecessary stress from the universe.
Oh,
like,
fair.
If you're gonna get your suitcase back, why was it taken in the first place? If they're not going to charge you for the keys, why did you have to drop them in the? You know what I mean? What the fuck?
Right. It was according to my very funny, very not very supportive friend, it's essentially the universe telling me to slow the fuck down. So
you need to stop being friends with Ukrainians because they have a very skewed look on life right now.
She's Irish Catholic. Hi.
Oh, all right.
There you go. And but her name's Maureen. So she couldn't be more Irish Catholic.
Enough said. I've never met Maureen who was sympathetic ever.
I will say that. Okay, so I'm hanging out with my dad. Carmen Morales is doing the Kenosha Comedy Club, which is a 4-wall at a Wyndham in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay,
and I was like, oh, those used to be my favorite, especially when I drank, because you could get super hammered, bring a dude upstairs, kick him out, and be done. Second show.
Wow. You are wild.
I was a classy dame. Classy dame.
Wow. I only did that with people, the features that were on the show. I didn't pick up wild.
Oh, you never went wildin'? I
was an audience member? No. Mm-mm.
Oh, are you kidding me? Dubuque was amazing. This is a real hit in Dubuque. Shut it. Okay. So I was like, and there's only one show a night, to my knowledge. And so I was like, I'm gonna come. I'm talking to my dad, and I'm helping him with his tablet, trying to find the best way to watch thoroughbred horse racing on his tablet.
Is he betting on them?
Yes. It isn't good.
Jackie, there goes your inheritance.
I don't. Well, there's no money. And my brother subsidizes him. By the way, when I lost my laptop, Andrew Solomson made it pop. If you were to open it, it would say my name and my telephone number, and it said return for a reward. And Andrew was like, "Are you willing to offer an reward?" I said, "I gave my dad $100. I'd obviously give anyone $100 for giving me back my laptop." And so, but I'm talking to Carmen or texting with Carmen and or I forget what it was, but my dad loves Carmen. He loves Carmen Morales. We've had lunch. And yes. And so I said, well, I'm gonna go to Kenosha and pick up, can I do a set? And she was like, of course. And my dad, you would have thought I said Disneyland. You would have thought I said I was going to Paris, because he goes, you're going to Kenosha? And I said, did you want to go to Kenosha? And he's 86. He goes, yeah, I'll go to Kenosha. And he's like, he's looking around for his wallet. I was like, okay, I don't think A, I'm doing a set tonight. And B, I was like, Carmen, are you willing to have dinner with my dad at 4:30 on a Saturday? And she was like, of course. And so we went to a very nice place for dinner at 4:30. My father had the time of his life. He was like, I haven't driven down here in 10 years. I worked on that house. And it was great, right? It was a delightful time. We're driving back up from Kenosha to Milwaukee, and we're taking the lake, right? We're just going up Michigan, and we drive by a restaurant called the Hob Knob. That's what it's called, the Hob Knob. And it's got that sort of 50s, 60s vibe to it, but it's right on Lake Michigan, so it's gorgeous, and it's obviously an old steakhouse. And my dad's like, oh my God, I love the Hob Knob. We used to come here after we went to Arlington and settle all our debts and stuff and just eat at the Hob Knob. And I was like, we had just eaten, right? It's 6 o'clock at night. So I go, so the next time I'm home, do you want to go to the Hob Knob for dinner? He's like, I would love to go to the Hob Knob for dinner. And so the next, hours later, I'm talking to my brother Russ, and I'm like, Dad wants to go to the Hob Knob next time we're home. And Russ goes, the Hob Knob? The Hob Knob is full of dirt bags. It's just a bunch of, like, that's where all the bookies and stuff hang out. And I was like, does that mean you don't want to come with us to the Hob Knob? And Russ goes, oh, I'm coming to the Hob Knob. I totally want to go to the Hob Knob. And Darla said to me, I will drive down to go to the Hob Knob. And I'm sure I didn't even have to ask Phil. Phil will drive anywhere. So anyway, I didn't get to do a set that night, but that's fine. I just kind of, yeah.
You're at the knob.
I'm planning the Hob Knob excursion. Anyway, so you did a bunch of. I'm sorry to hijack, but I didn't get to tell you this last week because we answered vital questions about stand-up comedy. What?
Wow, you're still resentful of those things stolen from you.
I had to tell that story. So you talk about your sets, and then I want to talk about my sets.
Oh, I had a couple sets got canceled. So I had but last night I think I had I think in an hour and a half I did 4 spots, and I was like, my brain hurts because this. So I did upstairs at the stand, then I went downstairs, then I did the patio, and then I went upstairs again, and that was all from 8 to 9:30.
I didn't know there was a patio now. Is it just a summer gig?
It's a summer gig, and they canceled the patio shows on Friday because it was a little rainy. But they did have one. They had one patio, and it was threatening to rain. So they're like, everyone, we're cutting you down to 10.
That's hilarious.
But the patio audience was great. The only thing is I was worrying because I just want to make sure. I was worrying that the people coming into the next show were walking by the patio show, and I'm like, you're just. Do I have to make sure this material is going to be repeated? Or are you paying attention? Or I don't know. But it was a lot of fun.
Good.
I did a lot of sets. I was, by the end of the night, tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted. I did have that sense of, have I done this joke before? Because I was almost back to back in a couple rooms. I was the last set and then the first set on the next show. You know what I mean? So it was ugh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So a lot of comedy. I'm working on my JetBlue story, and I think I have a really good idea, but I really have to be precise on wording, and it's a little tricky, but it's going to take a while to work out. I don't have a closing laugh on it, really, a huge one. So far that's got to come. Ending laugh is based on my energy and not on the joke. So there's stuff to work on.
Yeah, it's a crutch you got to work till you write the joke. Mm-hmm. So because it'll come, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a set on Monday in Aparna Nancherla's new LA show.
Oh, neat!
And that was super fun.
Yeah.
And
where is it?
It's on Heliotrope. It's over
there, but I can't visualize it right now.
Is it called the Cat Nap? It's called the Cat something.
Yeah.
But it's a Monday night show, and it's with Lizzie Cooperman, and that was super fun.
Love Lizzie Cooperman.
It's a freaking delight. I don't get to see her enough. Yes.
I know. Every time I see her, I'm like, why isn't she famous? Why?
It's another example of the Minneapolis comedy scene just creating.
She's from Minneapolis?
Yeah, creating these comics that you're like, what is it? The Winter? What is it? It's almost Canadian. Yeah, right. Because it's Maria, Mary Mack, Lizzie Cooperman, Andy Erickson.
Yeah.
And I'm missing people because they're usually. I mean, some of the men are weirdos, but it's mostly women, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
they're just geniusy weirdos. I freaking love it. The next night I did the Lyric Hyperion Canned Heat, and that was with Chris Estrada. Yeah.
And, nice.
Yeah, and a bunch of really great
for a season 2. His show got renewed for a season 2.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and then hilarious women comics who's I don't know why I barely remembered Chris's name. My self-absorption, people. I'm so sorry. And then Thursday, what did I picked up? Oh, I think I picked up the heck was it? It was like it was on Sycamore. Oh, I think that was I know what that was. That was the John Fugel saying. Talk about button pushing. He has a show on Sirius XM.
Oh yeah. On the right side, at least. Yeah.
Right. He's on the right side, but he lets these Nazis call in. And then because it lights up the board, you know?
Yeah.
Some douche from the middle of nowhere calls in. And he tells, he's sane and calm with the dude. And then everybody else calls in and is like, why is that person such a horrible person? And he's like, I know. And but it was great. And that was such a who was on that was such a great
there's a
sort
guy,
of rounds.
A British guy named James O'Brien who is on a network, I think, called LBC. I don't know what that stands for, but he often takes people slamming Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and he dismantles them. It's lovely. I love to watch it.
Wow. Raja Michael? Raja Michael? I want to say Raha, or a woman comic. Anyway, she was very funny. She's going to be on the Dork Forest. Pretty psyched. She's married to Lenny and Lenny Shelton, I think his name. Anyway, everyone can be on the Dork Forest, but I'm looking forward to it. But the we all had to come up with things that we things that were unpopular opinions. And John said the night before, one of the comics said, I don't agree with trans people, that trans people, that people could transition. And John was like, why did I go to them last? That was like, I buried the lead. We could have talked about this, that, talk about lighting up and I was like, yeah, I don't want to hear that either. I don't, because literally Raja's thing was that she didn't like the Lord of the Rings movie. That's her unpopular opinion.
That's what we're talking about. You don't. It's
mine was Breaking Bad. Yeah.
What'd you say about Breaking Bad?
I can't watch it.
What the fuck?
I watched 3 seasons. The ATM falls on that woman, and I'm like, oh, this is never going to get better. The end of the first Godfather, I was like, when he lies to her and there's that long shot and that guy kisses his ring, I was like, I'm never watching The Godfather 2.
God damn it, Jackie.
I know.
How infuriating.
I know. It turns out I'm not a male comic. I always wanted to be, but I no longer aspire.
I'm not a male comic either, and I enjoy them, and I'm watching.
But you aspire. Yes. You still aspire
to be a male comic.
But you still aspire to be liked by those fucks. And I'm over it. So
they don't like me. I was thinking if I were to switch and become anti-vax, I could make so much money because I was so clearly on one side. And if I were to quote see the light and make I could be
7 figures.
A millionaire.
Absolutely.
So quickly. My own podcast, taking calls. And I'm not. Could I get some kind of bonus at the end of the year for the things I'm not doing?
What? What if it backfired and you were still unpopular?
Oh my God! But I lost everybody.
Let's take a quick break here, and let's do comic of the week.
Wait, hold on. Let me just switch my background if possible, because I feel like I'm getting my roommate's family pictures in here a little bit.
You are not. It is a bare wall.
I just want to blur just in case. I've been a little conscious about. Okay. So I hit blur.
Looking good.
It's blurry.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Good.
All right, cool. All right, great.
There you go. Comic of the week. Chelsea Hood worked with her at Laughing Tap, Chicago comic. So fucking funny. So fucking funny. And I think I mentioned this like 2 weeks ago when I worked with her. Really reminds me of me, but younger, which burns a little bit.
That does hurt.
So, but good for her, man. Chelsea, and what is it? Chell Hood? How does it go?
Oh, we got it in here. Let me grab it again.
I feel like it's there we go. Yeah, let me but she was like, it's smart, it's personal, it's interesting, It's unapologetic. It's everything. She's just like,
Everything you like comedy.
Yeah. She's great.
It is at
so-
Chelshood. CHELSHOOD. Go
Right.
follow.
Go
Yeah.
follow and find and employ. Because
Follow, find, employ. Yes.
she's a delight. So yeah. So what about this week? Tonight I'm doing a thing at the Crow where I talk to open micers. And she asked if I wanted to come early and watch the open mic. There were 25 women doing 3-minute sets. And I said, where I never get to go up? Absolutely not.
Nicole has fully transitioned into club owner. She forgot what it's like to be a comic.
Right. I am so sorry, Nicole. I will not be doing that. It's she was like, but would you take questions? So that's what I told her I would do that. I was like, I'll be, I guess, an elder statesman of this fucking thing.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but this week I go to Portland and Seattle with Maria. You're going to Portland this weekend.
Yeah.
Somebody else is in Portland this weekend. It's
I
a
am
big
too.
weekend. Are you also in Portland?
I'm recording Andy Wancio's record in Portland this upcoming weekend.
Oh my God.
Did she just do a record
This is the third one I'll have done in 18 months.
of hers?
Yeah, we're having a time.
All right.
She's the Mike Kaplan of herself.
Got
Mike put
20
out-
years of jokes to float on.
Oh, nice.
So I asked Shelly, I'm like, what can I do? I did some promotion. I'm gonna promote really hard when I get home this week. And I do think Portland, like Brandy Posey did her special there, and she was like shitting bricks until like the day of, and then they bought
the Siren.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
I don't know
Siren.
if she's at the Siren, but wherever she did it, she said it was lots of last minute ticket sales.
Okay.
So one thing she said is, well, get Jackie to retweet it. I'm like, all right.
I'll
if you could retweet your Portland competition this weekend, I'd appreciate it.
Put it on the everyone on the thread will do it. Both threads, any thread.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh, because I'm with Maria Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Portland, and then Sunday in Seattle with her, and then I'm home Monday, and then Tuesday I fly to Throckmorton, and then I come back on Wednesday. So
That's
yeah.
good.
That's steady work. And then I'm doing a benefit for giraffes at the Chateau Comedy on Wednesday.
Hold on. Those two things can't exist in my head at the same time.
You're not wrong. Because it's Comedy Chateau benefit for giraffes on Wednesday, the 21st. That's that giraffe guy. Do you know that giraffe guy?
No. Is there a giraffe comic?
No, there's a guy that loves comedy, and he always has a benefit for giraffes. And I don't know why he's having it. He's always had it at Flappers. I don't know why he's having it at the Chateau.
Why didn't he ask me to do it?
Do you want to do it instead of me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Oh, good. Because
if you have to cancel,
I've never been to the Chateau, and there's part of me, much like OK Chinese, which is the name of a Chinese place in my neighborhood. I never want to go. Do you know why OK Chinese isn't my? If you don't believe in yourself enough to call yourself great Chinese, and the thing is Andy and Chris went to OK Chinese, and I felt betrayed because when we moved in, I said to Andy, "Let's never go there," and then he was like, "You won't believe it, Jackie. It's $1.50, and the portions are amazing." And I'm like, "What? When did you turn into Sid Sweet, my boss in college?" And this is ridiculous.
He didn't break it. You said let us never go there. You guys didn't go there. He went with Chris. He went with his mom. So it's all
right.
He didn't break a vow. Put your wedding ring back on.
Okay, so now I've also new website coming out. I paid for a new website. I'm gonna have a new website and my social media revamped and all this stuff.
Jackie,
because
you are investing hardcore dollars into your social.
I'm putting some money into the online thing in the hopes that it does some good. And as much as I love Vilmos, we've had the same website for 15 years, so I'm bored now. And he would change it for me, but he has a day job, and I'm just like, we're gonna just do this. We're gonna do what we do. And so He's gonna. I have to talk to him actually. If he listens to this show, this is how he's finding out.
Oh my God, you're the worst. You know who has a great like branding company is Andrea Levin, who's she was a stand-up from San Francisco and she sort of eased out of it, I guess, but she does great work as well. She did Irene 2 stuff, I think, and somebody else's. I just am, keeping it low spending for a little while because my summer is like ridiculously bad.
Right. It's Melanie Vesey. Melanie Vesey's doing it. So
Cool.
she does Maria's and because I'm also doing the release of the special that Kyle and I we're gonna do a special. She was like, because all I did was email Melanie Vesey, genius, the Casey Conley type, in the way that because I said, what should I do for this tiny special that Kyle shot for me with a team, a beautiful team, and it's essentially me staring into the ass of a car while it's in reverse camera, and telling car jokes for 10 minutes, and it's called Looking Back.
Fun.
And so the thing is so it's only 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm going to release it on the new website for a week first for everyone who's, and I'll put that link in the Patreon, and I'll send it to Max Fun if they want it. And but it's definitely will be on my email list. So if everybody joins my email list, you get a rare and it's harder to get on my fucking list than to get off, because every email has an unsubscribe button that I'm not vested in. So feel free to go to JackieCation.com and sign up for my email list, and you'll get the link, or you're in our Patreon, you'll get that. And so we're going to do that, and then it's going to go up, and I'm opening for Patton, or doing the Patton Oswalt and Friends at the Largo.
Cool.
And because Melanie Vesey was like, can you get people that are more famous than you to say nice things? And I was like, well, that seems awkward. So I emailed Patton, Brian Regan, Maria, Aisha Tyler. I was like, could you say something nice about me? And then here's a suggestion. She's great. Aisha Tyler. And everybody wrote something nicer than that, and they're very much, and it's beautiful.
So it's like a blurb for your special?
A blurb for my website. Okay. And then Melanie's like, do you have a blurb for the special? And I was like, you're asking me to ask someone to watch a 10-minute me telling car jokes into the ass of a car and then say something nice about it. And she's like, yes. And a comic who's into cars, like Leno, Leno. And I was like, no, I don't know Leno.
Jackie, why don't you sign up for his comedy camp with Adam Carolla and see if you can get, that was a fun day on Twitter, reading the quote tweets from that announcement.
When is that happening?
I don't know.
That seems expensive and wrong.
I wrote for Adam Carolla. I was a writer on his show.
This feels
a season.
Okay.
He's very nice. It's weird. People, I don't understand the turn and the online. I mean, I do. It's funny, Yeah. And maybe they believe it anyway. And it starts to all, wow, if I say
there's
this,
some value.
Yeah. So I don't get it. But, and when I see him in clubs, he's very nice. So.
And it's not for us. It's for the new up and coming comics, those things.
Are new up and comers going to go? See, I feel like it's going to be like a fantasy camp for like, someone else said this, but this resonated for like 50-year-old white men who want to pretend to do comedy. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Well, those guys have disposable income. So
do your thing. It is
very, very funny though.
It was fun to read the quote tweets, and that was an enjoyable day. Hey, we have a show at the Crow.
Oh, that's right.
July 13th, Thursday, July 13th. You and I are doing a live show, live stand-up. It's not a pod, with former Comics of the Week. We've secured Danielle Perez from Spider-Man. She's signed spider. She's part of that when
Spider-Verse.
spider is trying to get out. One of the spider, I forget all the spiders' names. She's one of them.
She's
one of the
quippy.
ones
She's
that,
quippy.
Miles is talking to. So it's really cool. Because I knew she was in it, and then I heard her voice. I was like, obviously it's animated, so you can't tell who's who. But it was great.
You totally recognize her voice. She's got a very
absolutely very iconic, distinctive voice as well. Yeah, so she's gonna
Danielle, you're an icon.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a few others, and it'll be a lot of fun. Come to our show at the Crow. The Crow, in addition to having a great club owner, Nicole Blaine, who thinks that we want to watch open micers. In addition to that, they have a ton of parking. It's like a great.
It is a great venue.
You don't have to worry if you just show up.
And there's beautiful restaurants right around there.
Nearby.
You cannot get coffee to go. That's the only thing you can't get, and I would like to point that out. If anybody, bring your own coffee.
We don't point out what you can't get, Jackie, when we're promoting one of our shows.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You could probably get coffee. No, now I'm lying.
On Thursday night. Stop it. Stop telling people they can't get something they don't want anyway. No one drinks coffee at night. Except you.
I have a pitcher of coffee that I'm working my way through here.
Oh my God. Jesus. Right. Anyway, our show's July 13th, and tickets for that are at the Crow. We'll tweet them and stuff. It's not hard to find. You can find it. But do come out. It'll be a lot of fun. And,
super fun.
Jackie, you can see my new joke that is inspired by you.
Oh shit! Did you just write it while I was talking about my terribles?
I've been flirting with it for about a week. I put it down because this weekend I had to go back to some classics because the JetBlue thing kind of floundered. So it's on, but it's up on rotation next week to flesh out.
All right, finally.
Pretty exciting.
That is exciting. You guys try to figure out what character I play in the upcoming joke by Laurie Kilmartin. So the 21st and 22nd, I guess on the 20th, and I remember agreeing to this, but nobody's ever sent me any additional information. I'm doing a live Dork Forest in San Diego. Oh, week of Comic-Con. Live Dork Forest, week of Comic-Con. On the 20th, I have to get a guest. And I'm gonna try and get Kelly Sue DeConnick or Gail Simone or some famous women.
Gail Simone.
Yeah.
Kelly Sue DeConnick wrote Captain Marvel. How is that not?
I don't know her, but I know Gail.
Yeah, Gail Simone's amazing. And I know why you know Gail Simone is because her Twitter feed is epic.
Yeah.
And
That's what I know her from. Yes.
Right. She wrote a definitive Secret Six. Definitive. Mm-hmm. She wrote Birds of Prey that
She's
they turned a TV show into.
Wow.
Agent X. She wrote the funniest Deadpool, the only Deadpool I've legitimately laughed at.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
See?
Take that, everyone else.
Cool.
Oh my God, Jerry Duggan.
Sorry,
right now
Jerry.
going, oh, fuck you. Anyway, so
he knows I'm right.
He knows you're right. Who knows? But so I don't have a guest yet, but it's Comic-Con. But I would also kind of like to get Mary Mack and Tim Harmston, who are there because she does Solar Opposites. She's a lead on an animated series. Mary Mack is.
Neat.
So I kind of want to do that. A mic drop. I'm doing at the 20th. I'm doing Dork Forest 21-22 comedy stand-up show. I was going to try to get Mary Mack, see if those two would open and open for me, but she has panel at 7:00 at night. So, and plus it's so exhausting. I get that, but I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway,
Jackie, what night is your Portland show? Are you Friday or Saturday?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this week.
Okay. Well, guys,
at Helium. Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying is you can make it a Jackie and Laurie weekend. You can see Jackie and Maria
on the 22nd,
one of 3 nights, and you can see me on one of 2 nights. But if you see one and not the other, we're not talking to you ever again.
And you can hat trick it 3 nights in a row too.
Oh my God.
You could do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday and see all 3 of us in one weekend if you're in Portland.
Right. You could go see Andy Iwancio record her new album. And I feel like there's there's other amazing.
There's somebody else there too. Like it's kind of an insane
forget.
weekend in Portland.
I forget who's
It
there,
is
but
an
it's kind of
insane
amazing.
I just like to point out that I don't have Maria Banford helping me sell tickets, and it feels like my entire career is riding on it.
Right.
You should get
And the
yourself in a
Thursday night show is sold out. So go see Laurie on either of those 2 nights, and then come and see Maria and I on a different night. And then go do whatever the hell you want to do. But if you love comedy, there's so many great women comics crushing it this weekend in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah.
And guys, I do bring my air purifier. Feel free to sit up front. You'll be safer up front. If you have COVID worries, mask away. I don't give a shit.
That's
I love
true.
It. I love
Yeah.
to see masks in the audience. So
Yeah.
please.
Okay, let's
we
take a
need to-
second break. Yeah. Wow, we
Yeah,
have so many things to plug. It's very exciting.
It is exciting. I'm watching my new cut of my special.
Yeah.
And I only have 24 more minutes to watch.
Oh my God.
Why is this so painful?
Well,
And
because
part of me
it's
is like,
painful.
But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's just another comedy special in a world full of comedy specials that I hope people find it and like it if they enjoy it. But it's so hard when it's your comedy special to go through all that. And it's weird because I've watched some good specials this year, and I maybe remember one bit from them 2 weeks later. Like they have very little impact except for the time I'm watching it. So for me to be worried like it's gonna, resonate it's just like too much. It's just another special, and I hope that people that like me will like it.
They will. They will. I mean, that's the thing. It's just hard to watch your own thing, and you get in your head, and you're like, well, I don't want anyone to see this fucking thing. And or have you ever? And I've done this. I've watched. Because I'm clipping the hell out of Horcrux and Staycation, obviously, right? Staycation's down, by the way. They've taken down the audio. It's
who?
I'm terminated from 800-Pound Gorilla. So it is no longer on Apple or Amazon. It's no longer on anything. As is Circus People, which I never noticed. That's because it's my first album, and I tried to listen to it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to listen to my albums backwards because I get worse at stand-up comedy." Somebody once told me that, and that guy, thanks for nothing, because that burns a hole in my head.
Yeah, but wait, so is Staycation going to go back up with it soon?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
And Circus People. And
if you don't like Circus People, why are you putting it back up?
I want all the money.
Them spins.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And there's a couple of good jokes there.
Yeah.
Not a lot. And there's
so
one
maybe
joke in there.
You're not the best judge, like all of us. Yeah.
Right. Matter of fact, I suppose I could edit the jokes. There's a joke on Circus People about Liberia that does not hold up. How about that?
I bet most white comics talking about nations in Africa in the 90s, I bet that material does not hold up. That's my guess.
You're not wrong. And weirdly enough, I think that book it came out in 2005.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's not even the 90s.
Dude, it was workshopped. It was probably workshopped in the 90s.
All through the 90s. Like the fact that it's my first album means that it's and the Bread album is essentially the 10 years. The Bread album is, I would arguably say, was like Chris Rock's first special in the way that it's 15 years of material in an hour.
Yeah. So
whenever I tell people about one album to buy first, it's always the Bread album, because it's got a nice arc of sort of, a lot of different not genres, but like ages of, like if I were to try to re-record anything, I couldn't re-record Bread because it's all about growing up and dating and then getting married, and it's too much. Yeah.
I did a fundraiser last weekend for a very progressive candidate named Greg Akili, or Baba. And somebody, when they brought me up, they made a joke about my last name, that like from 4th grade.
Oh, right.
So, Now I'm forced to do my Kilmartin Sheen joke.
Right.
And it still works. Both those guys are still alive. Who knew?
I'm glad it's not a Michael Sheen joke.
Oh yeah, that would have been uncomfortable for you.
Right, because
hold on. 145th Street weighing in.
It's weighing in. There's a party going by. There's always a parade.
Always.
I am doing another show at the Crow with Laura House on July 2nd.
Oh, cool.
So when all that talk about the Crow, I was like, I think there's another Crow show that I was doing because we're doing our show, we're doing that show, and then tonight I'm which is before this airs, but it makes me want to update my calendar on my website. Is what it definitely makes me want to do.
I don't put LA spots up on a website, but I guess it's a good idea. I do, but someone just asked me about a date, and I'm like, since the pandemic started and we were at home, I just stopped keeping a regular calendar, and I would just write it on a whiteboard on my fridge. And now that's how all my LA spots are. They're on a whiteboard on my fridge. So I'm on the road. I'm like, I should have taken a picture, but I don't open that date.
Your son could take a picture and text it to you, but then it's too much work.
He's busy. He's taking lifeguarding classes and
good. There's a shortage of lifeguards.
I know. He's going to be a water fireman pretty soon. Able to save lives.
Yeah, Andy is having a problem that is exactly what your son, when he goes to college, is. So Andy is a game designer, right? So he makes video games, he makes board games. He also teaches game design at NYFA, at New York Film Academy, which is like a tech university here in Los Angeles and New York. And one of the classes that he teaches is a screenwriter game design crossover, and try to teaching like 3-act structure to game design writers. Yeah. And so he said this is the first semester that there's no common ground between him and the students. The students are young enough that they have not seen Star Wars Episode 4. They've never seen Galaxy Quest. They've never seen he's like,
Jackie, you are describing me as well. So.
Well, I am describing you because they're like, well, have you seen all of this anime? And he said he does not watch anime like 19-year-olds watch anime, right?
Right.
The way 13-year-olds watch anime, the way 25-year-olds watch anime, and Kyle.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that Kyle is still young.
And a fan of anime.
And a fan of anime. And Andy likes anime, but it's old anime.
Yeah.
And he has not kept up, right? You want to talk to him about Cowboy Bebop.
There's like 5 things after 2010 you got to see, and that's about it.
Wait, what are they?
You've thrown down.
Yeah,
say them. Say it, Kyle. Say it.
Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah, that's in there. Can't fight that.
One Piece?
That's before 2010. I checked.
Oh.
Starts in 06.
Okay, so what's after? So what's after? Say them. This is now a podcast.
I leave
with
5
Kyle.
open because I know Attack on Titan is an argument, and folks like Laurie definitely know examples of stuff that I don't know. So it's a real safety thing.
Oh, okay. You're not as young as you think you are, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, still let the young people prove me wrong a little, because then we can talk about what we have in common.
My kid loves The Witch of Mercury, which is it's ongoing, and they release like one a week. And Vinland Saga is amazing.
He's got good taste, so I'll have to look at it.
And Blue Lock, we just watched season 1 of Blue Lock. It's a soccer. I think I talked about it, right? It's a soccer anime. It's like a soccer competition, like Squid Game, but it's soccer. It's fucking great. It's really good.
And what platform?
Mostly all on Crunchyroll. So you got to subscribe, but it's only like $2.99 a month or $4.99. It's real cheap, and versus for what you get, it's great.
Right. Yeah, I'm trapped watching. It's I just did next week's Dork Forest is about it's about Scandival. it's Bravo
Oh,
reality.
Vanderpump
Scandal. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a reality show thing. And I literally went in after recording it and was telling Chris about it. And Chris goes, man, I can't believe anyone would watch that stuff. And I was like, you are watching The Young and the Restless, where they just killed a baby. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
And she was like,
Wow.
I don't approve of that, killing a baby. And I was like, who cares about all of your stuff? Unless you want to do a dork forest about it, I could pretend to care for an hour.
Was the baby murdered or did it die of a disease or something?
He had to pick between the wife or the baby.
Ooh.
Oh, in pregnancy? Pregnancy?
Yeah.
Jackie, what the fuck? You're on the side of the baby? You always pick the mom.
You always pick the mom. I don't know why she picked the baby. Laurie, I'm telling you, Chris must have liked, doesn't like the woman. She might be evil. She might be a devil woman, which is what my grandmother used to watch Young and the Restless. And you'd walk in and she'd go, that one's a devil woman. That's what English wasn't her first language. I say it's an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.